Yo, what's up? This is like 7TTG, and today we're going to be going over Leafeon Lurantis deck profile. Now, this is a deck that is pretty new. This is the deck from the Ultra Prism set, Leafeon GX. We have Leafeon GX here with 200 HP. It is a grass type, so it is only weak to fire decks, and there's only Volcanion Ho-Oh out right now. So that is going to be a problem. Maybe I'll add something in mix, but right now it has the ability Breath of the Leaf. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon once during your turn before you attack, you may heal 50 damage from one of your Pokemon that has any energies attached to it. And then we got Soul Beam that does 110 damage, and now Lurantis can boost this thing up to 150 damage just for a grass in 2 colors, which is pretty awesome. And the main GX you want to use in this deck is Grand Bloom GX. What it does is for each of your bench basic Pokemon, search your deck for a card that evolved from that Pokemon. So that means you have Zoroark on the bench. If you have Lurantis on the bench, if you have just Lurantis on the bench, because you want to avoid those Lurantis you want to avoid those Formantis into Lurantis. The Lurantis promo, not the Lurantis GX. And Lurantis can boost this thing up. I'll show you how it's done later on. So we do indeed run 4 Leafeon GXs in here. And sorry about the noises if you are hearing it. But we do run 4 Leafeon GXs. So there we go. Next up, we do run 4 EVs, which is the Energy Evolution. Once you attach an energy, when you attach a basic energy card from your hand to this Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon. So you want to have 4 Energy Evolution from Sun and Moon so you can easily evolve the EVs to your Leafeon GX. So there's something for that. Next up is the baby form of Lurantis. We have Formantis. Now what Formantis does is search your deck for a grass energy card attached to it to one of your Pokemon that can help you out if you have an Eevee on the bench and you just want to power it up or something, but you don't really use this card. You just use it for to put on your bench, nothing more. So it can evolve into, we got 4 copies of Lurantis. Now what Lurantis does, this tag of your grass Pokemon and fire Pokemon do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance, and then Soul Beam does 80. But this can help boost up your Leafeon GX, and it can do we can do up to 180 damage if you have 4 Lurantis down, so that's pretty good. So this deck can go up. So the Leafeon GX can go up to 210 damage with Choice Band. With 4 Lurantis and a Choice Band, Leafeon GX Solar Beam can go up to 210 damage, which is crazy. And then next up is Tapu Lele GX. We do have to run 2 Tapu Leles just in case one gets prized. You want to use the 1 attack ability to get out your Bridget and to get out 4 Lurantis. 3 Lurantis. And then maybe Ultra Ball for an EV. In this case, Leafeon GX does get knocked out. 1 attack when you play this Pokemon from your hand once on your turn, you may search your deck for a supporter card. That's why this card is very powerful. And then Energy Drive does 20 times the amount of energies from both your active and your opponent's Pokemon. And then we don't use Tapu Cure GX. I don't think any deck uses Tapu Cure GXs. And then we do have 1 Oranguru for that instructability. I do like Oranguru better than Octillery because it's less base. And it does a basic, and it has 120 HP, and it also has to move Psychic. This deck does 20 damage, 20 more damage times the amount of energy that's attached to your opponent's active Pokemon plus the 60. So it's not bad. And then we do run a supporter that most decks do not run, because you do want trying to get your GX deck early. So we want 4 copies of Hala. Stuff your deck into your hand. If you have used a GX attack, you may draw 7 cards, so it's like a Sycamore, but you shuffle your deck and draw 7. I think it's better than Sycamore in this deck because you use the GX attack early on. So once you get this, you may shuffle your hand and draw 7, so you have more Sycamore power into you. So that's pretty good. And the next supporter we have is 3 Cynthia. Now Cynthia is the same thing, but shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6. But it's automatic. You don't have to use your GX attack. That's why it's so good. If it was 7, that would be crazy, but it's 6. Next supporter here, we do have a lot of consistency going on here. We do have 3 copies of N. Each player shuffle his or her hand into his or her deck. Then each player draw a card from each of his or her remaining prize card. So it's good if your opponent has magical ribbon and stuff. You just want to shuffle those cards he got in. Or if you just have a big hand using Big Bull GX, you can use Tapu Lele, use it to get N, and then shuffle those cards back into the deck and draw 6 instead of him having 10 cards. So it's pretty good in a lot of ways. So we do have 3 copies of N. Next up is Guzma. We do have 3 copies of Guzma. I do like how this deck is really consistent. Guzma, search your switch one of your opponent's best Pokemon with their active Pokemon. If you do, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So that's how you can take out easy knockouts, is you see damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. If you try to retreat it, you can use Guzma to knock it out. That's pretty good. So we have 3 copies of Guzma. Next up is only run 2 copies of Professor Sycamore because I don't really like to discard stuff. But it's easy if you have no cards in your hand. Discard a hand and then draw 7 new cards. So pretty explanatory there. And then next up is the key in this deck. We do run at least 2 copies of Bridget. Search your deck for 1 Bridget EX or 3 basic Pokemon. This is where you get your 3 Fermentis out. And then you can Ultra Ball yourself another Fermentis if you do like to do so. But we do indeed run 2 copies of Bridget. Next up is the item cards. We do at least run 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards and then search your deck for a Pokemon. Pretty explanatory right there. So we do run 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Next up, we run 3 copies of Choice Band. Now what Choice Band does is attack the attack of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more damage. Now it can boost up your Leafeon GX to do up to 210 damage, usually knocking out anything in the format except for stage 2 Pokemon that has like 250 damage, which is like a 2-hit knockout or something like that, which is not bad at all. So it can do easy damage with Choice Band as well. That's why we run 3 Choice Bands, and we run 3 Field Blowers just in case we get matched up with Garbodor. Any type of Garbodor deck that has the ability to shut down, because we use a lot of abilities here and we want to get rid of them as soon as possible. So we want 3 copies of Field Blower. Choose up to 2 of any combination of Pokemon Tool cards and Stadium cards in play. Get rid of your opponents and discard them. So we do want 3 copies of Field Blower. Pretty nice there. And then we run 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher does put a Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, or you can shuffle 3 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck, just in case you're running low on your deck, or if you want to bring back a Pokemon that you need. And then next up, we do run 1 copy of Super Rod, shuffle 3 and any combination of Pokemon and basic energy card from your discard pile into your deck. Is really good if you want to get your grass energy back, or a Lurantis, or a Fermentis that you lost early on. You shouldn't really have a problem with that because we run GX attack. Next up, we do indeed run 6 copies of Grass Energies. Pretty good there. Next up, we do run 4 copies of Double Colorless Energy right here, and then we do want that 1 Perilous City. And yeah, that's pretty. Oh wait, if you don't know what Perilous City does, as one side you may put your opponent's bench down to 3, or you may put your bench down to 3, and then you take 20 less damage, or he takes 20 less damage, which is pretty good card. And mostly every deck you may want to use 1 Perilous City. And that is it for the deck profile. Hopefully you guys like, subscribe if you guys are new, and share this video. And yeah, this has been Lucky7 TTG with Lurantis and Leafeon deck profile. Hopefully you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time or later on today in one of my live streams, deck profiles, or an online TCG match. So peace out and have a good one.